ARK Survival Evolved is a game that continues to evolve many years after its release date, adding a wide variety of creatures and dinosaurs throughout the years, all of which have their own abilities. In this video I'll be showcasing the top 10 creatures with special abilities. Let's get straight into it. Starting off our list at number 10 is going to be the Deinonychus. Around the size of a raptor, but boy do they pack a punch. Only available on the maps Valguero and Fjordur. They are very quick, agile and maneuverable battle mounts, being able to scale vertical walls just like a climbing peck, leaping and clinging to other walls just like Sylvester Stallone, without the worry of fall damage, as they do not take any fall damage at all. They are also pack dinosaurs. The highest level Deinonychus will always be the alpha of the pack, providing a constant damage bonus, along with its Screech ability, granted a 45-second pack buff, boosting movement speed, damage and resistance to all pack members. But their main ability is their bleed attack, and it is one of the nastiest bleed attacks in the entire game. It can stack up to 5 times for maximum damage output. It can be paired with other bleed attacks from other creatures. It can latch onto larger creatures, being able to take down far larger creatures than itself with ease. It is also the only bleed attack that works against bosses. All these are reasons why you want to go out there and steal some of those fertilized eggs from the parents. Coming in at number 9 is going to be the Gacha. These might be one of my most favourite tames of all time, as I love loot and I love gathering resources. Every wild Gacha will produce different resources. You can only see what resources they can produce once you obtain them. So it's like a box of chocolates. You just don't know what you're gonna get. And to view this, you can access their inventory by holding the access key onto production, and there are your selection of resources. They can only produce one resource at a time from whichever one you select on the wheel. Unless you don't select one at all, they will just produce those resources at random. And the way they work is that you don't want to put more than one male or female next to each other. If you add more next to them, they will become sad. And we don't want that. They won't produce us the loot that we need. So if you do have more, make sure they're far away from each other in pairs. All you need to do is make sure they have a good supply of food inside their inventory. I always ram mine full of stone because it's cheap and cheerful. And if you're wanting to boost the quality and quantity of loot, stick a few snails in front of them, and when the snails poop, the gachas will automatically pick it up. This is their preferred food for doing this. And if you have a lot of plant species Y traps at your disposal, you could also feed them those. They do seem to like them also. And now over time they will start producing gacha crystals. All you gotta do is pick them up. Once in your inventory, open them up with the action button, and voila! We have loot and resources coming out of our ears. Who would have thought you'd be able to find a Journeyman Riot chess piece inside your own base? Well, with the Gacha you can. The Gacha's crafting skill can also be leveled for more quantities and better qualities of loot. Leveling up to 160% is better for producing resources, and anything over 160% is good for improving qualities of loot. In at number 8 is going to be the Snow Owl. These things are absolute beasts when it comes to PvE quality. Originally from the Extinction map, now available on a variety of later map installments. It is a great flyer for getting around the map quickly, with good stamina and a good base movement speed, including an enhanced speed boost, similar to that of a griffin. It does also share similarities to the griffin's dive bomb attack. Upon hitting the ground, the Snow Owl will stun creatures within the attack radius, rather than dealing damage to them. It makes for a great scout and does have an infrared ability, which can be used in low light conditions to see things clearly. This includes highlighting creatures and beehives, for example. It is an extremely valuable asset when taming creatures. We've all been there, we finally found that high level creature that we've been searching for so long, but it's been attacked by so many things in the wild that it's about to die. And knocking it out would be impossible. But you got your Snow Owl, no problem. The Snow Owl is equipped with a healing ability that can heal wild creatures at the cost of its own stamina. It is the only creature in the game that can heal wild creatures like this. It can heal tame creatures and can also heal players extremely efficiently. It's probably the quickest way to heal a player in the game. Their poop is also very useful. It comes in the form of a Snow Owl pellet. It can be used to fertilize your crops, almost giving the same amount of nitrogen as a bag of fertilizer. These pellets are a gacha's preferred food and can boost the quality of loot from their crystals. The only downside to the Snow Owl is it can't pick up any creatures. Coming in at number 7, we have the Otter, probably one of the most vital shoulder pets in the game, so it makes for the perfect companion to take around with you in those freezing cold locations. The Otter provides a stacking insulation effect to nearby survivors. The Otter can be carried around on your shoulder just like a scarf, so it keeps you extra warm. Leveling the Otter's melee damage will increase this effect, so for every extra 100% melee damage the Otter gains, it will grant around 75 hypothermic insulation and 34 hyperthermic insulation. And adding on to this, if you have enough of them, you can even incubate eggs. Along with being able to carry more than one of the same artifact in its inventory, they do have the backpack advantage, as everything you put into the Otter's inventory while on your shoulder will have a 50% weight reduction. The insulation of the Otters makes it a vital shoulder pet to have. Also, they're like the cutest creature in the game. Oh, look at that cute little face. In at number 6 is the Maewing, 100% one of the best starter tames you can get in the entire game, being able to unlock the saddle at level 19, and once you have one of these beasts, you'll have no problems at all navigating around the map. They can glide faster than any flyer. Some might say they can glide for infinite periods. They are very versatile mounts with great weight and stamina stats, being extremely quick swimmers and do not possess an oxygen stat, which makes them perfect for diving in the deep ocean. Added bonuses to the Maewing is that it's the best nurse in the game and can help raise your baby creatures and dinos for you. All you need to do is enable nursing mode on it, then just ram your Maewing full of food that your babies like to eat, and the babies will eat from the Maewing, which saves you having to hand feed them during their infant stage. You can boost its trough range by leveling up nursing effectiveness. Another great thing about the Maewing is that they do not have a gender and will just lay eggs of random quality: basic, simple, regular, superior, exceptional and extraordinary. And of course you can also make them together to get these quicker, so you can make varieties of kibble with their eggs. The Maewing can also carry up to 4 babies in their pouches, just in case you're worried about losing them, so they'll always be safe and sound in your nurse's pockets. Taking the number 5 spot is going to be the Yutyrannus, quite possibly the most valuable support dinosaur in the entire game, boasting 2 unique roar abilities, one being the Intimidation Fear Roar, which can be used on a variety of creatures. This roar terrifies wild and enemy creatures even when mounted by a player. The affected creatures receive a debuff, increasing damage taken and reducing damage done by up to 50%, and at full fear will attempt to flee. There is more unique perks to this roar. It can be used when taming creatures that are affected by the roar, as the affected creature will take more torpor damage, which can save on your tranks. And another to mention, the Yutyrannus can scare out berry palovias, which we all know berry palovias can be a bit of a problem at times. The second roar is the Courage Roar. The Yutyrannus boosts the attack damage of affected allied creatures by 25% and reduces all incoming damage they take by 20%. This makes it extremely useful in large scale battles. It can also be used on wild Carnotaurus to temporarily have them fight for you. I've never used this, but it can be used. This ability makes the Yutyrannus the most valuable asset in the boss fight arena. You'll almost never see a boss fight without a Yutyrannus in their party, and this is why everybody needs to tame one. In at number 4 is going to be the Rock Drake, originally from the Aberration map and now the Fjordur map, which is crazy they took the devs that long to add the Rock Drake to another map, but hey, we aren't complaining. The Rock Drake is a very versatile mount, being able to glide great distances. With its speed, agility, maneuverability and being a strong battle mount, it makes the Rock Drake perfect for any encounter, whether it be exploring land, sea and air. They are great to use for the most dangerous of tasks: wyvern egg stealing, rock drake egg stealing, anything like that. The rock drake makes these tasks much easier. They're also a great taming aid, being able to wield your weapons while riding and having a passenger on the back doing the same. It was also the first creature to be added to the game that had a stealth mode ability, which when used will slowly drain its stamina over time. All these reasons are why you want to own a rock drake. In at number 3 is going to be the Bloodstalker. There is no land creature that will match its speed and maneuverability. It is probably faster than all the flyers in the game. Originally from Genesis Part 1, it was added to Genesis Part 2 also, so these are the only 2 maps you can find a Bloodstalker. Once perfecting your web slinging, you'll be moving around like Spider-Man in no time. There is no quicker way to navigate through the Genesis simulation More abilities include being able to skim across water at quite a decent speed considering it is a spider. And if that wasn't cool enough for you, you can also dive into the water with them, and they are ridiculously good swimmers too. One thing to mention about this is I tried this on single player and it does not work. However, it does work on a server. And the passive Spidey Vision, which will highlight threats and passive creatures just like the tech helmet. With the option to wield weapons while riding, you can just hang around and knock anything out with ease. They will also turn some of the hardest tasks into easy ones. For example, Magmasaur egg stealing from Genesis Part 1. Wyvern egg stealing is also a breeze. One of the most dangerous tasks in the game, Rock Drake egg stealing, is much easier. Your Bloodstalker will take radiation damage, however, it is only minimal. If you have a Bloodstalker that has quite a decent amount of health, there is no danger at all. And you can just get in and out. See you later. They are probably one of the most annoying creatures to tame in the game. However, another plus point, they can be bred, so once you have a nice mating pair, you don't have to worry too much about going out and trying to tame a load up when one dies. And after a Genesis Part 2 update, you can now pick up their eggs. Coming in at number 2 is going to be the Shadowmane, the jack of all trades mount that is pretty much good for anything and everything. Once tamed, they are the only bareback running creature in the game that has a natural armor rating, bar the Fenrir. They do also come equipped with a debuff and reflective armor. This debuff is applied to any attackers that land a hit on it for 7 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. It appears as a pink cloud shrouding the attacker and does about 10 damage a tick, and will decrease damage done to your Shadowmane. This armor debuff can even affect bosses. With an array of abilities ranging from being able to jump extremely high and far with its charge jump ability, while its bite and claw attack deals average damage, it does have a charge bar for consecutive strikes, and once this reaches a glowing purple colour, it means it's ready to do the finishing strike, which can deal 4 times the regular damage. If the target is killed with that blow, it will fully recharge instantly. The males and females have their unique pack buffs. The male has a roar that will boost all nearby allied survivors and creatures for 30 seconds. All boosted allies will recover 50 stamina and torpidity per second, and have their speed increased by 50%. Damage will also be doubled for 4 male poison. There is a 28-second cooldown for this roar. This roar can only be used while they are mate boosted. The females have the ability to cloak, which can be extremely useful for a lot of scenarios. Can be used to cloak itself while not being mate boosted, and while being mate boosted, holding the cloak activation key down will also cloak every ally within 20 meters. It are also ridiculously fast in war and receives a hydration buff, which is the same buff the Spino gets while touching water. And they also do not have an oxygen stat, so they are very capable being used underwater. You can wield your weapon while riding, and you can have a friend on the back in the passenger seat also doing the same, so it makes taming a lot of creatures very easy. With its high damage and high health pool, it makes for a perfect boss fighter in any arena. In summary, all of this contributes to the Shadowmane being one of the strongest creatures in the whole of the ARK world. Coming in at number 1 is going to be the Desmodus. Of course, having one of these bats makes ARK so much easier than what it is. They can only be found on the Fjordur map. Desmodus is the only flying creature that can fly in caves. It changes caves from being challenging to just being a breeze where you can just fly through, grab artifacts, no problem at all. Not to mention that these cave runs can be done in stealth with its stealth mode ability, which can be used at nighttime or when latched onto a ceiling in the daytime. Desmodus is equipped with night vision, which is just as good as it sounds. While using this at night time, you can see creatures highlighted clearly, so if you're out at night looking for those desired creatures to tame, you'll have no problem seeing them with this guy. Not only that, but when flying over the ocean, you can see all the way to the ocean floor. If you're a fan of those sea creatures, then it's pretty easy to spot all those sea creatures that you want to tame. When damaged, it can instantly heal a large portion of its health when automatically consuming a blood pack from its inventory. There is a cooldown on this. It will only happen when your Desmodus is hungry and needs to eat. It makes for a great taming aid, especially for solo players, as you can wield your weapons while riding. You can latch onto walls or ceilings. Unlike most flyers the size of the Desmodus can pick up quite a variety of creatures, a lot of larger, smaller creatures like Daedons, direwolves, beavers, Ravagers. You can pick all these creatures up, take them back to the comfort of your base to tame them, or you can even knock them out from the comfort of your saddle, anywhere you want. They are also an excellent sport meat gatherer. There's no better way to stockpile sport meat than using the Desmodus. They will gather a bucket load of sport meat every time they harvest a corpse. But the main ability of the Desmodus that makes it so great is being able to craft sanguine elixir. This is probably one of the most game-changing abilities in the whole game. You can craft these in the Desmodus inventory. All it needs is 200 blood packs to craft one, and of course the Desmodus farms blood packs like there's no tomorrow, so there's no issues getting those. It can boost taming progress by 30% once consumed, and it can also boost imprinting by 30% when caring for babies. The way it's used is, once crafted, stick it into one of your quick slots on your hotbar, go up next to the creature you're taming or caring for, look directly at them, and then click your hotbar key that it is assigned to, and it will do this for you automatically. It can only be used once on each creature. This can really make taming those annoying and difficult to tame creatures on official rates a lot easier, as that is almost 1/3 of the taming progress completed just from crafting one of these bad boys. And we all know how long it takes to raise a Giga Baby on official. Well, you'll be able to boost that imprint bonus by 30%, which is a massive boost. The Desmodus is one of the most OP creatures in the game as of now, and you need to go and tame one. And these are some of the creatures that didn't quite make the list. I so wanted to put the Sonoma crops on the list. Honestly, I was weighing my options up between the Gacha and the Sonoma crops, and I chose loot over looking cool in the air, soaring through the sky like Buzz Lightyear. But that is going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, and please do feel free to check out the channel if you did and are looking for more cool ARK content like this one. And don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe if you are new. I do appreciate all the support. And I know I said it on the last video, but my next upload is definitely going to be the 100 days video, and I plan on releasing it next month. I'll catch you all there. Take care. Goodbye.